Hey there, welcome to HUD's History. This is an AP review session that's going to look at a couple topics from 1200 to 1750, gives you some activities to do. So you can pause the video as you go through and do the activities and hopefully figure out some things that you would do for them. It's not a long video, it's just to kind of give you some help as you get ready for your AP test. This is AP review session number 2. This is 1200 to 1750. I'm going to go through a couple of topics and give you the chance to pause the video so that you can work on the topics themselves. And this is just based off of some of the previous tests over the past couple of years, what we've seen, and possibilities of what may be in there. So feel free to stop anytime you need to as you go through it, or go back and forth as you need to in order to do your review. So these are the topics that I'm hitting in this basic video. Land empires, China's dynasties, as well as technology during this time period. Remember, this is 1200 to 1750. So here's your first activity. We're looking at the Gunpowder Empires here, which is the Ottomans, the Safavid, and the Mughal Empire. And so one of the things that you may need to do is to compare empires, whether it be in an SAQ or in some sort of LEQ or DBQ essay, or it may just be a multiple choice response or responses in where you're looking to see how some things are similar or different. So what I would like you to do is you can pause this, but take 5 minutes and basically go through this prompt, compare the Gunpowder Empires in terms of political structure and social structure, meaning you need to go through and see what does the political structure look like in each of these Gunpowder Empires, as well as looking at the social structure. Hopefully you understand the difference between the Ottoman, the Safavid, and the Mughal, how they are. Remember, they're all based off of a specific hierarchy in their government. The religion plays a part in some places, and certain religions more so than the others. I'm looking at the Ottoman, Safavid, particularly being more Islamic, while the Mughal Empire is majority Hindu with a high Muslim minority. So look at those things and then determine what you can think about in terms of similarities and differences. Maybe do a T-chart on your paper and just take 5 minutes and think of everything you can between the two, and how would you compare those different things within these three empires. The Gunpowder Empires tend to show up within the AP test. It just varies on where it's going to be and whether or not it's going to be something where you have documents in a DBQ, or if it's just a straight up essay of an LEQ, or if it's just basically a stimulus based question or a stimulus part of an SAQ. So feel free to take 5 minutes, and then after you do that, feel free to continue on. The next activity is looking at China. China goes through a few different dynasties during this period from 1200 to 1750. You have the Ming Dynasty, you have the Qing Dynasty, you have the Yuan Dynasty, meaning that you see the rise and fall of each of these empires. Hopefully, you know the different empires and what they're associated with. If you don't, maybe go back and check. The Yuan Dynasty is one that was created based off the Mongol invasion. We know the Ming Dynasty is one that used a lot of trade with porcelain, like Ming vases. So just make sure you go through the different ones and then do this type of activity for yourself, where you are looking at changes and continuities across China, because China spans all of world history, and you see a lot of changes within it because each dynasty comes in with its new things. However, there are some continuities where things stay the same as China continues on. So I would look at things like dynasties, right? What are the different dynasties? Who are the rulers? What are the land changes? As you can see in the three maps, China changes a little bit based off of which dynasty they're in. And then, of course, invasions, specific things like the Mongols invading China and taking over, and how does that impact the people. So you want to look at how do the differences or the different dynasties, how you see changes politically with what they do, and then also what types of things stay the same politically as you go through China. So take 5 minutes and do another, if you want to do a T chart or something of that nature, where you look at changes and continuities, and then go with each of the dynasties. Like, what are you seeing? Oh, I see this, this, and this as changing, but amongst all the dynasties, they keep this particular thing the same. You can look at it that way. You may also want to look at cultural pieces and how they may have changed or stayed the same, because you'll probably find instances where certain cultural pieces are staying set in China, even though the dynasties are changing. So just a little, side note there for you. But if you want to do that, go for it. Take 5 minutes. And then once you get done with that, you can come back to the video and continue on to the last part. All right. The next activity, this is activity number 3, and that is looking at technology. There is a lot of technology that changes from 1200 to 1750, technology that is invented, or technology that changes. And I gave you a little image here, new tools, new ship designs. Why? Because this is a majority of exploration in the maritime systems. So obviously those things are going to require a lot of new technologies to get people around, especially when you are trying to travel further distances. You can see here like new tools like the Astrolab, understanding weather patterns like wind, and then what type of ship designs are happening in this time frame, because you are going further distances. As I said before, you have exploration of the Chinese going into the Indian Ocean. You have the Europeans trying to find ways around Africa. You also have Europeans then going across the Atlantic, hitting New World. So I would try and figure out, can you explain the impact of technology during this time in Asia and Africa and Europe? Don't limit yourself to just one. I know everybody wants to limit into Europe and like, oh, we're going to talk about Christopher Columbus and go across. But you also have to realize the Chinese did certain things with their ships. You see Africa and the Islamic empires helping to create new technologies as well. So you want to make sure you can hit all three, because you never know what is going to be on the test. It may say technology in the Islamic Empire during this time period. It may say technology in the Chinese empires, or it may say technology in Europe during the Maritime Revolution. It may just say technology in the Maritime Revolution as a general prompt, and then you have to go through and give examples. So go ahead and take 6 minutes to do that, and then put it together, and then you'll be able to see what you know and what you don't know, if you need to go back and look at the different technologies that have come about during this time period. So go for it, and then you'll be done with your 3 activities for this review. So there you have it. That's just a quick review for you for AP. Hopefully you were able to use some of it in order to do a review session. And if you like the videos, make sure you hit the subscribe so that you can continue looking at any videos to help you out. Maybe getting into some AP US history coming soon, as well as maybe some government. So just be on the lookout for that in case you see something. All right. Tip for the day. I know, just have a good time. Sometimes you just got to go out and have fun and enjoy life. And whether you are, doing school, doing work, doing whatever, sometimes you just got to go out and have a little bit of fun, fly a kite, go to a movie, read a book, or just go hang out with your friends so that you can kind of relax and unwind from the life of daily grinding. So there you go. And to all my AP peeps out there, keep on going, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.